Yes, you're still tuned into the nation's number one talk news and sports station, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Yes, it's about 12 minutes past one, and as usual, yes, we talk real estate at this time. We are into the business of real estate and how we can make our lives in the city better and the way we live. So we welcome you officially this year to the real estate desk, and as usual, we'll be giving tips we'll quite be more proactive this year about our decisions and implementations and everything that has to do with housing, uh, real estate, architecture, infrastructure, and I must say that a big thank you to Lagosians and for their contributions, and it quite reflects that a lot of Lagosians are quite passionate about the built environment and about a better Nigeria, and a lot of them really know the solutions. Yes, just like my usual guest here, but most of the time, not everyone has that platform or opportunity to actually make the change. But from here, we start from somewhere. We move from our corner to the center stage. Somehow, gradually, on the long term, and with this, we would actually make Nigeria a better place. That's one of the major objectives of this show. Yes. So today, we'll be looking at remarkable, profitable decisions to make as regarding real estate in 2018. What are the things to look out for? What are the things you need to think about and actually decide on doing, and that will actually change your life and improve your life and the lives of everyone around you on the long run. I'm Architect Benga Akinsheta, your host, and I have the gentleman here, Chudi Kalu. He's a real estate consultant, a sound orator, articulate mind, and in fact, he himself is clearly a testimony on real estate knowledge and investment and return on investment. He's one of a few that practice what they preach, and they actually have it as an evidence that, look, real estate is promising. Real estate is the future. Real estate is a hub for economic recovery, especially in a nation that suffers housing deficits. Yes, I remember as you listen, you can share your thoughts via the WhatsApp number. You can send your message to 0809 597 5805, and at the second half of the show, we can pick a few calls for questions and contributions. The toll-free line works, yeah?
Yeah, it does.
08 993 993, or the usual numbers, 01277 0993, 01277 1993, 01277 2993, and 01277 3993. Yes, my New Year resolution as an architect, as a person, as a Lagosian, is actually to look more into real estate and to be not just a talker but a participant here of the benefits of real estate. To look into this in industry and see the little I can contribute for a start, and see how dynamic these markets is, because one of the major demands in life are food and shelter, and shelter is basically what real estate is all about, right? So we go a step further. We talk about real estate investment. We talk about how we can actually retrofit our environment, how we can be part of a joint venture and actually not just do it for the passion, but actually improve our financial status. So on the long run, it's a positive boomerang effect. Right, Chudi Kalu, thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Benga.
Happy New Year.
Same. Happy New Year. Great year ahead for us.
Yes, clearly. Yeah, and do not forget the usual objectives of the real estate show Life in the City the way we live, especially this arm where it comes to the economics, the investment, the insurance of building a legacy for the yet unborn generation, especially when it comes to such a facility, such an asset as real estate. Yes, remember, we are here to reconstruct our perception and priorities so that our thoughts and decision making will not only benefit us, like I said, but it will also benefit our immediate needs and have a positive impact on our environment and the people around us, thereby improving the system and creating a happier and healthier way of living, right? And also, it provides a long-term return on investments to the extent of building a legacy for the younger and yet unborn generation, even in a this is the real estate knowledge makes one more or less independent and sustainable. So when, like Dr. would say and some colors would say, the government, when you actually take a step and you don't wait for the government, you end up influencing the system, and everything will just follow your pattern on the long run, so to say. Okay, without much ado, let's talk about. Okay, yeah. I thought, look, one of the most sensational topics here, the unique, that I don't think anyone would have heard, even with so many books of reading, is looking at the recap of the topics we talked about last year. You talked about types of spenders. I want us to go through it: the AA, the AS, the SS, and then also back to the types of investors.
Yeah.
So let's know what Lagosians want to be like this year. Do they want to be a trader, a hacker? What actually do they want to plug in? Because a lot of people just dabble into real estate due to circumstance. They don't actually have a position or direction, and on the long run, they hang, they get stagnant, and they wonder, why is it not as smooth or as nice as we were told on radio or we were told at the seminars? Yeah. So let's have a recap of the spenders, the type of spenders, and the types of investors.
Later on, but we'll maybe also talk about what some of developers do not want people to know about.
Okay.
Basically, this year, we talked about 3 categories of people who spend money.
Yeah.
One category is the SS, who is the stuff spender. That's the person who spends on stuff a lot. During December last year was their year. They spent all they had, and January nothing is. They're not spending on income producing assets. They're not spending on things that produces income for them.
Okay.
Now they just only spend on stores, and stores don't give us money. Stores only takes our money away. Now they are active stuff spenders. So
Active
those are the
spenders.
SS category. Those are the ones who are probably financially sick because they need financial healing.
They need
they need
replace
to
priorities.
because they spend a lot of they are like addicted to spending whatever income that they have.
Okay.
Whereas you have the second category, who are the AS. The AS are the I will call it
they're in between.
They are in between. They are not. They are what do we call it? Artist socialites.
Okay.
They are interested in what people feel about them. They are interested in living in the kind of houses that acting like celebrity. Because we want to keep up. We want to live our. We want to keep up with the social status. We want to live up like the Joneses. So we are just. We're just trying to fit into society and all of that. So we don't even care so much about our financial well-being per se. But as long as people think or assume that we are rich, so we look rich, but we are not very rich. Like I made analysis of somebody who happens to be a DG in a particular company, in a government agency. He has cars, he has all of those things that makes him look so affluent, but he's not. But once he was left relieved of the job, he had nothing to back on, to wait on. And we'll talk about that 80% of the people currently working will be broke, penniless when they get to the age of 60. Now, not necessarily because society wants them to be so, but because they are not actually spending on the things that they need to spend on. So some of them may look rich. They may look, Facebook, social media is here. We all want to look. We don't the same clothes. We don't want to put on the same clothes we put on last year or last week on Facebook, so that people don't look at us and remind us that is that not the shirt we were putting on last week and all of that. So we want to live off social media. We want to live for people. We want to live for and all of that. So, but it's not making us spend on things that will generate wealth for us. Whereas we also have the people who are addicted asset spenders, who are the AA. They're addicted, asset addicts. They spend so much on assets. Why? Because they are sincere to themselves enough to know that what produces wealth for them, or what can pay their bills, or what can make them buy stuffs, or what can make is the investment that they make. So those are the people who actually invest, who actually seek. You know what? Is it agriculture? Is it land? Is it property, rentals, or all of that gives me good returns? So those are the things that they focus on that gives them good returns on a regular basis. So those are the three categories of people that we looked at last year. Then we also talk about the various categories of people that invest in real estate. We talked about the developers. We talked about the players. We also looked at the hackers. We talked about the
traders.
The traders. The people who buy property in expectation that the property will grow or appreciate over time.
Okay, those are the traders.
Those are the traders. So I buy a property, I'm expecting that the property should appreciate to maybe about by $1 million or $2 million or by 40%.
It could
or
be
30%.
a virgin land.
It could be a virgin land. It could be a house. It could be whatever reason, whatever kind of portfolio that is on it. It depending on what is on it. But the person who is doing that is a trader, because he's hoping that property will appreciate. He's speculating.
Okay.
He buys just like he buys a product in bulk and expecting that the market will be convenient for him, or maybe there'll be something that will happen that will trigger increase in sale, and that's why he's banking on that. That's why he's operating in that category. Whereas the players are the people who are like the practitioners, the people who help others to leverage on the success of real estate. That is the building professionals, the architect, the engineers, and all of that. Those are the people who help every one of us to succeed as investors. Now we also have the hackers, the people who take advantage of opportunity. They have to own a property. They take advantage of the landlord's inability to renovate a particular structure, and what they do is that they go into partnership with that landlord by hacking into the system, and what they do is that they get to share rent with that landlord. We also talk about the developers who have all the advantage to themselves. They're not like the hackers who do not have money. So they buy a property, they develop it, they create a community out of an existing structure, whether it is a one plot of land or it is 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or so. They take advantage of that opportunity and all of that. I can't seem to even remember some of those other ones, but these are the ones that we actually looked at that any one of us can take advantage of.
Right, the major ones. So what is the difference between the developer and the trader?
The developer is the one who creates. It creates a community.
Okay.
It makes that property to.
He creates an estate.
He creates an estate out of it. He creates value out of it. A trader doesn't necessarily have to create value.
Okay.
All he just knows is just buy a plot of land.
Like he's buying a car and he wants to
just buy a car and just want to sell. I have somebody who rented an apartment somewhere in Yaba for 3.8 million naira. 2 months after, he wants to rent that same property out. He's not doing anything on the property for 4.8 million naira. That guy is a trader.
If he's a trader,
it's not a developer, because it's not adding new facilities, bringing new facilities to the property. It's not enhancing the value of the property.
It's just about the market.
Yes, it's all about the market. So that kind of person is a trader. He could work. It may also not work. So for such kind of person, he is actually depending on the market for him to take advantage of.
Okay, so the hacker then?
Yeah, the hacker is one who he doesn't have all the money to buy a property.
Okay.
But he sees a landlord and he meets with a landlord that needs renovation. The landlord does not have money to fix his property. But this investor has some little cash, so starts up somewhere that they can put into that property to renovate the property. So he goes into a deal with that landlord and say, for the next 10 years, I'm going to share rent with you. How much are you willing to give to me? The landlord says, I'm going to give you 20% returns on your investment on a yearly basis, or 30% returns, or we share the rent 50 by 50, 50-50. That's what some of these so-called developers do, but they're actually hackers. Because they are not in any way developers. Yeah. So what they now do is that they now we now go into contract, and they develop that property. Tenants come in, they get to share rent with the landlord. Those are that kind of person. That person is a hacker, because it's not the owner of the property. It's only just taking an opportunity that is existing.
So he's a step ahead of the trader.
He's a step ahead of the trader.
Right. It happens a lot in the UK. The renovation. It happens. The joint venture and stuff. If you're just tuning in, it's Life in the City, the way we live, a real estate show on 99.3 Nigeria Info, the nation's #1 talk news and sports station. And today we are talking about important tips and decisions to make in 2018 that will actually change your life, the way you live, and your life in the city, in the village, or wherever you are that you really want to make a change and impact. Yes, and we're here with Chudi Kalu, a real estate consultant who is ever sound and articulate when it comes to real estate, investment, and the economy of the nation. Yes, so remember really what we have talked about, the types of spenders, the types of investors. So which do you want to be? Are you an advocate to a pragmatic approach to solving housing deficits? Do you want to contribute? Do you want to be part of the hub of the circus for the economic recovery in the nation? Or do you want to be a landlord, a property owner, or you want to use this as a platform to your financial freedom? This is the show to listen to every Mondays, at least for now, on from 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. Yes, and you can send your messages via the numbers of 0809 597 5805, or feel free to ask Chudi Kalu questions on what bothers you, your existing property, the decision you have some money tied down. What can you do in 2018 so that you can smile in December 2018, right? So ask questions and know how to follow up with the guests in the studio. Yes, 08000 993 is the toll-free line. 012770 993, 012771 993, 012772 and 012773 993. Yes, on the second part, I think we'll hit the nail on the head. Let's see who's calling. Hello? Hello? Yes, good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello, Kevin from Festac here, onto Life in the City. We're talking about how to make a better 2018 when it comes to real estate investment. Okay. 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 Yeah. 2.5 plot. Okay. Is the neighborhood developed? Is the neighborhood developed? Okay.
But it's accessible.
Okay. Okay. Right. So you want advice to know what to do, if you should. You want to sell it off. You don't want to rent it out. Why? You don't want to be that patient. Okay. All right. Thank you, Kevin, for calling me. Yeah.
Okay. For Kelvin, I would maybe request that probably maybe if you can.
Yeah, we will. I will. He will definitely. I'll get his contact.
Okay.
Let's talk to the next. Hello. Hello. Fine, thank you. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. What's your name and where are you calling from? Hello. Okay, I think he. There is an issue with hearing him. Okay, the numbers to call, or you could send your message via the WhatsApp number 0809-597-5805, or the toll free 0800-0993-993 or 012770993 all the way to 3993. Yes, we are talking about tips. Okay, let's try one more time. He might be lucky. Hello? 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 Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Ikeja. Hello, Ade from Ikeja. Tell us what your real estate issues are. Hello? Hello? Okay. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Mm. That. Yeah. Mm. On the long run. Yeah. Right. Okay. Mm. Hello. Okay. Yeah. I think there's something wrong with his line at the end. Yeah. The real estate show life in the city the way we live. Yes, and we have been talking about real estate tips and investments, especially for 2018. Yes, and the last caller was about to advise the first caller and to tell him about the way forward. Are we taking a commercial break? Okay, we will be right back. The show continues. Stick around. Back, if you're just tuning in, it's the nation's #1 talk news and sports station, 99.3 Nigeria Info, and it's the real estate show life in the city, the way we live, and we're talking about our lives in the city, the way we live, especially in 2018. How can we make a difference? How can we go a step higher, especially when it comes to real estate investment? I'm Architect Benga Akinsheta, your host. Of course, I am an architect and I'm an advocate of a better, healthier environment through architecture, through decision making, through real estate investment. And that's why I have a sound mind when it comes to real estate and an embodiment of testimonies on real estate returns on investment. Yeah, Chudi Kalu, thank you for coming once again. Thank you for always being there. Yeah, before the break, we'll talk to Kevin and Ade, and I don't know, please, when you, okay, fine. Yeah, me here via WhatsApp says, okay, that's another story for another day, you know. This is Benga, please, could you ask your guest what documents I should get when I buy a piece of land? You know, a lot of people have just receipts. Yeah, you know, the usual, okay, how strong is the document I'm getting? So people buy land, they tell them they have general CFO, you know, to listen to. So yeah, that's more or less that's part of what to look out for in 2018. So we actually make the right decisions that will benefit us. So with time. Let's go straight to the important tips for 2018. Where can I invest to earn rental income? Where can I buy land or resell? Where can I buy land to build or rent or live or sell, like Kevin? And what also are the lucrative locations in Lagos apart from the almighty Lekki trade zones?
No,
Right.
in terms of land,
Yeah.
there are 5 places people can take advantage
Okay.
of for this year. I don't know of any other place, but anybody who has maybe a better idea
Yeah.
should take advantage. But it might be also be risky
And
for such individuals.
and should tell us as well.
Yeah, should tell us
yeah.
as well. I may be wrong, but
It's an interactive session.
But I may be wrong. However, I have done some bit of some research on this location.
Yeah.
Number 1 area you must focus on this year is Lekki. Ibeju Lekki. Why? In
That's
terms of
after
land,
the Abraham
that's
Adesoya,
after
where you
Ibrahim.
have the
Anyway,
fish.
after Abraham Adesoya.
Okay.
Because of this year, last year we experienced some bit of flood. Some parts of that
A
after
memorable
that axis,
experience,
yeah,
I dare say.
enjoyed a bit of steady flow without it then being overridden by the flood.
Is it?
Yeah.
So, are you saying Ibeju is higher than
Some part of
than
it,
Nigeria?
some part
Okay.
of it, some part of it. Abidjan is a good location for anybody.
Abidjan?
Abidjan.
That's
Abidjan
where.
is a good location. Lakowe is a good location too.
Okay. Lako.
Anywhere after Awoyaya is also good. It's also good to go
Okay.
for those people that want to invest in land. So that's that for Ibeju Lekki. Why am I saying the Lekki? Because
Yeah.
Lekki is said to going to generate about 70% of Lagos wealth.
70%.
70% because of the infrastructure coming there. The Lekki Free Trade Zone,
Yeah.
the
refinery,
the seaport, the airport, and all of that. So, and like what I said here the last year was that anywhere trade goes, cash flow trails. Cash flow is always behind trade,
Right.
and so you should look at where trade is going and position yourself if you are going to invest for capital return. But if you are investing for cash flow, they are talking about rental returns. But because a lot of people, we miss this part and we invest in land because our brother said we should invest in land, or a neighbor said I bought a property somewhere. And that's one of the challenges probably maybe Kelvin is also going through.
Yeah.
Because if you buy a property because other people are buying it, you're going to likely make mistake because you're not going to be buying at good areas and all of that. That will give you good returns. Now, another area is Arepo. That's after towards Berger, where you have the journalist estate.
Finally, we hit the mainland.
Yeah. That's the second most. It is more lucrative.
Okay.
Because as of 2 years ago, some properties were being sold there for about maybe $1 million or so. But as I speak with you now, those same properties are selling for 12 million. That's to tell you what, because the migration of people living in Ikeja, Magodo,
Right.
now it is spreading towards that end.
Okay.
Now
that's before the high.
That's before
impact. Okay.
That's before. Is it before Isheri? That's before Isheri.
Okay.
Now, where you have journalist estate, where you have that's along the Lagos Ibadan Expressway. So
yeah.
the flow of Magodo is catching up with that axis, because when anybody who wants to go there should go and see properties for himself and see the kind of structures that are around there. You see mighty structures that are giving good value to those landed properties there.
Landed properties.
That's good. That's a good location for anybody, because the migration is hitting hard at that particular location. The third one that anybody should look at is towards the Ojo axis.
Ojo.
In terms of land, the Ojo axis. Why? Because you have the Alaba. The Alaba market.
So it goes back to the infrastructure and trade.
The infrastructure and trade. Now, it's good returns. Now, why? Because last year, some people 2 years ago rather, some people bought some properties for about I think 3.8 million naira per acre. I bet you that last year, towards the end of the year, those same properties, one of those properties was sold for 2 million naira, just one plot of land out of those acre. Now, it's to give you an impression that value is increasing within that axis. Why? Because as commercial activity takes shapes in those axes, so you're looking at those areas where commerce is good at for you to be able to maximize good returns. That's where to position yourself this year. Now, the reason why Ikorodu is not in our
I was going to ask.
It's not. Yeah, it's not in. First of all, insecurity one, and you also have people who have. Yes, people are buying lands there, but there's no.
Building,
yes, they are buying land there, but there's no driving force within that.
The demand is low.
The demand
Why is it
low.
so?
Why? Because of trade. Like I said, anywhere cash trade goes, cash flow trade. So what you should be looking at for are those four circles. I think I mentioned it here last year too. You should be looking at the 4 circles of investment. One of them is trade. The second one is migration. That's the population. Because wherever people gather, that's where money is.
Yeah, and so that's where shelter is needed.
And that's where shelter is needed. Because real estate is about people.
Yeah.
It's about people that are going to use, whether it is road, whether it is property, whether it is a house, whether it's even a land. So you look at, those are the things that you need to look at for. They also need to look at for, those are the things that are actually the reason why Ikorodu is not in my own top 3. And also because of some of the research, if you ask anybody who probably has land, also they are not experiencing good returns as these other areas that I've just mentioned. That's the Ojo, that's Lekki, Bejuleki. That's one fantastic investment that you'll never regret buying into if you're looking for property appreciation. Then the other one is Arepo. Then the third one is Ojo. Then the fourth one, you look at Agbara, not inside main town Agbara, but the road that leads to Badagry. Now, because we've also discovered that a 2-bedroom property around that axis is selling at a very high speed. It's going at a high speed around that axis. That's where, and you can get good land. I don't mean inside Agbara,
you can
the
get
Ogun State,
land,
that the Lagos State side of Agbara. Very good area to buy property and invest in at this particular time. You get good returns because of the demand for properties within that, for those people who work within the industrial arm of that axis. And if you look at all this, you will notice one thing: everything is around the commercial center of certain areas. So those are the things that one should look at for. Then before you know it, then the fifth one is probably Ikorodu.
In the nearest future, not as dynamic.
If you are, but it might just be too risky. So I've just listed my top 10, top 5 rather.
Well said. Hello. What's your name? Hello. Calling from. All right.
Yeah.
Badagry.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Really?
You can imagine. Yeah. Yeah, you can imagine. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Well. Well, it's the market. Yeah. Thank you very much, Oche, for your testimony and contribution. Thank you, bro. Thank you. Yes, it's the real estate show, Life in the City, the way we live, and we are all about today talking about how we can actually go a step ahead, be a step higher, step up from our corners to the center stage, get bolder and get more proactive and more assertive in order to make a remarkable 2018, especially when it comes to real estate investment. I'm Max Dagbenga Akinshete, and I have Chudi Kalu in the studio, and he has been giving us tips. Yes, tips that most probably you can get in no other studio or no other book, written, documented journal. Yes, talking about what you should do, where you should place yourself, the type of investor that you should be, and where you should actually get land. And he's told us the whole of Ibeju is quite promising. Arepo, Bega, Ojo, Alaba, and the Agbara and the Badagry axis. Yes, you were telling us about the four walls that define real estate markets. You said trade, migration, infrastructure,
and the income of the people.
The income of the people.
Yeah.
You know, the trade, the migration, and the income of the people are quite a pragmatic approach to defining the real estate market. But when it comes to infrastructure, we know how much poor, even in Lekki, you know, the level of infrastructure it improves in some areas, because even over the years, when they say this and this has improved, you see some people who live in the nook and crannies of Lagos, and they say no development, no reach our side. You know. Hello. Yes. Good afternoon. What's your name and where are you calling from? Ade. Ade Soji. Yes. Calling from where? Yeah. Okay. You're part of the residents in the highbrow, promising locations, in it. Yep. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Ekpe is after Ibeju.
Yeah.
That's like you're going your merry-go-round into Ikorodu, yeah? I'm just asking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Soji, thank you very much.
Yeah.
What I just listed is just the top 5 locations to buy property. Ekpe is one of the top 10, but it's not among the top 5.
The top 5. Right.
Thank you.
Thank you for your contribution. And that brings us to the emphasis on investing in infrastructure. Now, from Aja to Ibeju to Ekpe is developing.
Yeah.
Traffic of people, and we have just this 3 lanes on each side all the way to Bonny Camp.
Okay.
You know what happens to the alternate routes, the coastal roads. These are things that the government should start looking into, because it's
the way our own situation runs
Yeah.
is different from the way a developed economy runs. Our own runs, some other economy depend on infrastructure.
Yeah.
But our own real estate economy depends
on people.
And people, their trade. Then the third one is infrastructure, because government usually move after the people have moved. Government don't move first. Anywhere government move first, real estate don't thrive there. I bet you can check.
Why?
Anywhere government moves.
Why is that?
Because government real estate is majorly about people in Nigeria.
Okay.
So wherever people go to,
So
like for
people
example,
get
some part of
intimidated
Ikotu,
Okay.
some part of Ikotu, people moved there before government moved. So it was later on that for everybody who wants to invest in real estate, you look at the people, where are the people going to, and position yourself there, because that's when government usually wake up and start putting up infrastructure.
Wow. Well said. The real estate show, we are about to draw the curtain. We have been talking about infrastructure, architecture, real estate, and the decisions you should think about and to make in 2018 in order to improve your life in the city and the way you live, and also influence and make a change and actually make a change around and make the people around you happier and your environment more beautiful. Yes, and we have been talking to Chudi Kalu, and so much contributions about property. And for Kevin, I'm sure you will contact Chudi after the show for more advice on what to do. Yes, so what advice do you have for real estate, when it comes to investments or making a decision for the average Nigerian, the most challenging factor is cash.
It's cash.
Yeah.
And not focusing on the numbers.
Not focusing on the numbers.
On the numbers.
What do you mean?
When it comes to real estate, it's about numbers. It's about mathematics.
Okay.
Real estate is more mathematical. I look at the numbers. I look at the
numbers of
the deficit.
Okay.
The problem, the cash flow is in the deficit.
Yeah.
Now, the mistake anybody is going to make this year is not focusing on that number. You know what? I've decided to focus on the number throughout this year. I started from this January. I'm looking at the numbers because the cash is in the numbers. You can do real estate for pleasure, you can do it for leisure, you can do it for opportunity, you can do it for cash flow. But I've chosen this year to do real estate for cash flow because it is what is going to pay all the bills that I have. Now, for those anybody who wants to invest in real estate, they need to look at the numbers because the cash flow is in the numbers. So you don't need to buy a property that you're not going to enjoy cash flow for this year. Don't stop doing that. It should end last year. You should make a New Year resolution and buy.
Notice, Nigerians are passionate people. They're intelligent people. But what we lack most of the time is due diligence. We hear something, we just blindly invest in it
and jump into it.
And then when it becomes stagnant, we start asking questions that we should have done initially feasibility studies before even trying or getting on. Yes. So finally, Chudi, last words to Lagosians. We have to round up.
Don't make the errors of last year or the past.
Yeah.
Focus on the trade. Focus on the 4 circles of real estate investment, and you'll be sure that you can guarantee good returns on your investment this year.
Right. And also remember that most of the time you can't do it alone, so you need like minds as part of the joint venture.
And that's what this platform is all about. It provides you opportunity so you don't make errors. And then keeps bringing in. Thank you for this opportunity. I appreciate that person to get involved because the more involved you are with other people, the little you can make error. And that is the essence of leverage. And that's why the essence of this platform that Benga and the Nigerian Info team are providing, everybody.
And to the MD as well.
Thank you, thank you, our MD.
Well said. And that's it for today. Make sure you put your pen, you go back to your drawing board and think about the things you have as per real estate and how you can restructure and how you can actually go further. Talking about this, that's why we have consultants like Chudi Kalu and myself on the show, and you can follow Chudi Kalu at Coach Chudi. Yes, and also follow me at Akins Muiwa, or you could also send an email to akinbenga27@gmail.com. Right. Thank you for listening. Till come your way same time next Monday for yet another educating session regarding real estate and architecture. Do have a blissful week. Be safe, be proactive, and stay healthy. Bye for now.